Chevron knew this disaster was coming. In August 2024, California's biggest refinery operator packed up their corporate headquarters and fled to Texas after 140 years in the state. The chief executive officer admitted California had become too difficult a place to operate, and they could not even convince employees to relocate there because the cost of living had gotten out of control. 4 months later, Phillips 66 announced they were closing their doors. Then Valero said they were shutting down too. Now we are looking at gasoline at $8 per gallon by 2026. And California is frantically importing fuel from Asia at record levels just to keep vehicles on the road. When your largest refinery operator abandons ship, that should have been the red flag. Chevron runs 2 massive refineries in California, operates 1,800 gas stations, and they still could not make the numbers work to keep their headquarters here. Chief Executive Officer Mike Wirth told reporters they were relocating 2,000 positions from San Ramon to Houston, explaining that California is a difficult place to maintain a large employee base. The cost of living is astronomical, and we were not able to convince employees who did not already live there to move there, and that just was not sustainable for us. Consider what that actually means. Chevron, a company valued at $300 billion, could not compensate people enough to make living in California worthwhile. These are not hourly workers. These are petroleum engineers, corporate executives, people earning 6 figures who still said no thanks to California. The company already had 7,000 employees in Houston and only 2,000 remaining in California. Even those positions are migrating to Texas over the next 5 years. Chevron's departure was the canary in the coal mine. They understood what was about to happen. Within months of their announcement, Phillips 66 declared they were closing their Wilmington refinery by December 2025. That is this month. The facility produces 139,000 barrels per day, roughly 8% of California's total capacity. Then Valero drops the bombshell. They are shutting their Benicia refinery in April 2026, eliminating another 145,000 barrels per day. Combined, that is 17% of California's refining capacity, disappearing in under a year. USC Professor Michael Miche released projections showing gas prices could reach $6.43 per gallon when Phillips 66 closes this month, then spike to $8.43 per gallon after Valero shuts down in 2026. That represents a 75% increase from current prices. And these projections assume nothing else goes wrong. No refinery fires, no maintenance problems, no supply disruptions. One hiccup and we could see $10 a gallon. Here is what makes this catastrophic. California requires a special gasoline blend called CARBOB that almost no one else produces. Over 90% is manufactured by California refineries. When those refineries close, we cannot simply truck in gas from Texas or Arizona. We have to import it by ship from Asia. Only a handful of refineries in India and South Korea can even produce California's special blend. The shipping nightmare is already playing out. In May 2025, California hit record imports of 210,000 barrels per day, mostly from Asia. It takes at minimum 4 weeks for a tanker to cross the Pacific. If there is a sudden shortage, like a refinery fire or an explosion, California is stuck with astronomical prices for at least a month, while ships slowly make their way across the ocean. We are talking about tankers from South Korea, India, and even China, carrying the lifeblood of California's economy. California Energy Commission data shows when the state's gasoline supply drops below 15 days, prices spike dramatically. Below 13 and a half days, prices can jump over $1 per gallon instantly. We are already dancing on that edge. After these refineries close, the state will need to import 30% of its gasoline just to meet basic demand. That is not a supply chain. That is a prayer that nothing goes wrong in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The February 2025 Martinez refinery fire demonstrated how fragile this system already is. One fire at one refinery sent prices up 42 cents per gallon in Northern California and 27 cents per gallon in Southern California within days. Wholesale margins shot up to 90 cents per gallon, double the normal levels. And that was just one refinery experiencing problems for a few weeks. Imagine what happens when 17% of capacity vanishes forever. Chevron's executives were blunt about why they left. Andy Walls, their president of America's Products, said in Texas, "They are welcome. Their industry is welcome." He explained it is easy to walk across the street and talk to somebody you are doing business with, because all their competitors and suppliers are in Houston. Meanwhile, in California, the company that had been there since 1879 could not even keep employees willing to live there. The timing of Chevron's exit is crucial. They announced the move in August 2024, right before the special legislative session that passed new refinery regulations. They saw the writing on the wall. Within weeks of those regulations passing, Phillips 66 announced their closure. Then Valero announced theirs. It is like dominoes falling, with each one making the situation worse for those still standing. What is happening now proves Chevron was right to run. California has gone from 40 refineries in 1983 to 13 today. After Phillips 66 and Valero close, we will have 11. Actually make that 8 major ones, 3 in the Bay Area and 5 in Southern California. Each closure makes the remaining refineries more critical. And when one goes down for maintenance or has problems, prices explode because there is no backup. The state is so desperate, they are now considering pausing enforcement of refinery profit margin caps that they passed just last year. The California Energy Commission recommended in August 2025 not implementing these rules for at least 5 years because they realize the regulations are driving refineries out of business. They are literally admitting their policies failed. But it is too late. The refineries are already leaving. California is now an energy island with no bridges. There are 0 pipelines crossing the Rocky Mountains. There are no connections to Texas refineries. The Jones Act requires United States flagged ships to move fuel between United States ports, but the United States only has 5 ocean-going commercial ships under construction, while China has 1,794. There are literally no ships available to bring gasoline from Texas to California, even if Texas refineries could make California's special blend, which they cannot. The human cost of this is staggering. When gas hits $8 a gallon, that is $160 to fill up a 20-gallon tank. For someone commuting 50 miles a day, that is over $500 a month just in gas. For delivery drivers, truckers, and anyone who drives for a living, it is economic death. Every product delivered by truck gets more expensive. Food, medicine, everything. Small businesses are already planning for the worst. A landscaping company owner in San Diego told reporters he will have to add $100 per job just to cover fuel costs if prices hit $8 a gallon. That is assuming his customers can even afford landscaping when they are spending $600 a month on their own gas. Restaurant delivery, home services, anything that requires driving to customers becomes economically impossible. Even the other western states are panicking. Arizona and Nevada governors, one Democrat and one Republican, sent joint letters begging California not to implement these policies because their states depend on California refineries. When California runs short, Arizona and Nevada get cut off first. They are collateral damage in California's energy crisis. Mansfield Energy reports that wholesale prices in California are seeing rapid daily swings, sometimes jumping 50 cents a gallon in a single day, as traders react to tightening supply. The volatility is so extreme that gas station owners do not know what price to post, because it might change by noon. Some stations are limiting purchases because they are not sure they can get resupplied. Here is the really scary part. Refineries do not just make gasoline. They produce diesel, jet fuel, and heating oil, all the petroleum products that keep civilization running. When refineries close, all these products become scarcer and more expensive. California's agricultural industry runs on diesel. Every tractor, every truck hauling produce, every piece of farm equipment needs diesel. When diesel hits $8 or $9 a gallon, food prices explode even higher. Jet fuel shortages mean airlines might have to cut flights from California airports. Southwest, United, and American Airlines are all running scenarios for fuel rationing. Some international flights might have to stop in Hawaii just to refuel, because California will not have enough jet fuel. Business travel, tourism, and the entire aviation economy could collapse. The irony is California grows more food than any other state, but might not be able to afford the fuel to harvest and transport it. We are looking at farmers unable to run equipment, truckers unable to deliver goods, and airlines cutting flights because jet fuel is too expensive. This is not just about the price at the pump. It is about the entire economy grinding to a halt. Chevron still operates 2 refineries in California for now. They keep saying they are committed to California operations, but actions speak louder than words. They move their headquarters out. They are moving all corporate functions to Texas. They sold their 92-acre San Ramon campus. How long before they decide the refineries are not worth it either? The company's February 2025 announcement that they are cutting 20% of their workforce globally shows they are preparing for a different future, a future where California is not their problem anymore. They will keep the refineries running as long as they are profitable, but the second the math stops working, will shut them down, just like Phillips 66 and Valero. When Chevron announced their move, Texas Governor Greg Abbott tweeted, "Welcome home, Chevron. Texas is your true home." Houston's mayor called it great for Houston. Meanwhile, California is about to find out what happens when you drive out the companies that literally fuel your economy. Chevron fled to Texas because they saw this coming. They knew California was becoming impossible for the energy industry. Now we are watching their prediction come true in real time. December 2025 is here. Phillips 66 closes this month. Gas prices are already spiking in anticipation. By next April, when Valero closes, we will be fully dependent on tankers from Asia and on whatever crumbs the remaining refineries can produce. $8 a gallon gasoline is not a projection anymore. It is a countdown. Chevron got out while they could. Everyone else is stuck paying the price for a crisis that was completely predictable and entirely preventable. If you want to stay informed on California's energy crisis and gas prices across the West Coast, make sure to subscribe for more updates.